Hey Team Urology, hope everybody had a great weekend and welcome to the Monday Momentum. We're trying a little bit of a different format and I'm trying to make it more succinct, briefer, and hopefully you'll like it. You got to tell me if you like it or not. If I was a YouTube streamer, I'd say you should put in the comments, but that's not what we do, so just email me or call me. So I'll draw your attention this week to a great recognition. Last week, the UAB Healthcare Educators Academy came together to induct their new Academy members. So this year we had two faculty members, Dr. Adam Klein and Dr. Carmen Tong, come in as mentees. And as you know, Dr. Klein is our program director and Dr. Tong is our associate program director with a special emphasis on medical students. And we had one person inducted as a mentor, who's Dr. Tracy Wilson. The Healthcare Educators Academy is an amazing initiative through the Dean's Office that pairs junior faculty and people who are moving into the education space with mentors to learn and talk about how do we actually educate people at an enhanced level, which is fantastic. And so at an inductee class of I think 16 inductees, we had 2 out of urology, which I think speaks towards our dedication and your all perseverance and commitment to our mission of inspiration and education, which is wonderful. And we're so lucky to have people representing urology at the institution level, which is great. I'll focus now on talking about a little anecdote kind of related to the inductees, and that's the title of this week's Monday Momentum, which is this concept of Plan C, or what's the third choice. I think oftentimes in life, we are faced with 2 choices. So do you want chicken or do you want beef? Do you want to go to point A or do you want to go to point B? And a lot of times, the best solutions are Plan C, or the third choice that maybe nobody else offered to you, but you can think of on your own with some creativity and forethought and bring to the table something that enhances everybody's mission. And that's how we, in negotiation, you might call that growing pie. So if you think about the classic story of 2 kids who are fighting over an orange, and eventually they just cut the orange right in half, and both kids are unhappy, and the person who cut the orange said, well, why are you guys unhappy? And the first kid says, well, I really wanted just the peel so I could get the flavor. And the second kid says, well, I really wanted the meat so that I could actually eat the orange. And turns out that if you'd just given one person the peel and the other person the meat and split it in a different way, that would have been a Plan C or a different idea. Everybody would have won even more than they did. So I'll bring it back to this idea around the Healthcare Educators Academy. It's an amazing academy, very prestigious. It takes a nomination and a selection out of the academy. And so this year, when the call went out to say, does anybody have people who might be interested in this education, Healthcare Educators Academy, we had Dr. Tong and Dr. Klein who were outstanding candidates. And so we put them forward and said, we have 2 people who would be great mentees and would eventually become great mentors for your program. And the response was, oh, well, we're always constrained by the number of mentors we have, and so you have to choose one or the other. So we got a Plan A or a Plan B. Is it going to be Dr. Klein or is it going to be Dr. Tong? And so there was the opportunity to come forward and say, well, you know what? How about if I get you an amazing, top quality mentor? Well, could we then maybe put forward 2 mentees? And that ended up being a very successful opportunity for them to grow their pool of both mentees and mentors in the academy, and us to also more heavily engage with the Healthcare Academy and put forward 2 mentees as well as 1 wonderful mentor, and everybody wins. So I like to think about this as the Plan C. So when somebody gives you Plan A and Plan B, and you're thinking to yourself, gosh, neither one of those is win-win. Is there an opportunity for you to come back to the table with something that actually brings value to everybody where there's a win-win? And if you can identify that, a lot of times you can elevate everybody's game, and that's what we call, I like to think of as a Plan C. So I think the thing that I was hoping that you might be able to think about in your upcoming week is, next time you're posed with a question of, okay, would you like to do A or B? Whether it's at home, you go home and your kids are like, well, do I want pasta or do I want noodles or do I want meatballs? Well, maybe you can make meatballs and make it like a spaghetti, so you get put them all together. Like something like that. Maybe that's not the best example, but you get the idea. Can you find an opportunity to identify a Plan C in your upcoming week? And then think about how can you more broadly use that concept to figure out win-win situations where everybody can elevate their game. So a little tidbit for you to think about. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you later. Have a great week.